We're so bloody. And
My head hurts.
I'm
I've
sorry
got some
that your head
aspirin.
hurts. I need to just like dreamily pose.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
I'm Claire, and today we're going to discuss Go Hunt Me by Kelly DeVos.
Standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers and vampires. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up.
Or watch.
Or watch. Oh, it's weird.
You've got a little something just there.
You got a little something just here.
Yeah.
Here.
A little concealer will be fine.
It's fine. It's
Fine. We'll be fine.
We'll be
I'm sure as we do some people will find out we're fine.
Yes, and we did not at all get murdered in the book.
Anywho, background info.
Background info. Yes, I read a pretty interesting interview. This one came from thecleverreader.wordpress.com. And Kelly DeVos was asked, what was your inspiration behind this vampire thriller? And she responds, they always tell writers not to read reviews, but personally, I do read mine. For me, it's helped to improve my writing process. On prior books, I've been dinged by reviewers who don't like my characters and especially brand my girls as unlikable. In Go Hunt Me, I wanted to explore the idea of the unlikable versus the likable female character. I wondered what the interior life is like of a girl who's desperately trying to make others likable. I also wanted to explore the notion of what a vampire looks like in modern times. For Bram Stoker, Dracula symbolized fear of progress, sexuality, and social change. Today, it's interesting to conceive of the 1%ers, the entitled people, as society's vampires.
It's very true. It's very true.
And like, I like unlikable characters, so I'm fine.
Well, I didn't dislike any of the characters in her other books. And we all know I went an obsessive read of her entire catalogue after we read Eat Your Heart
Out. Yep. We know that you have a non-sexual crush on Kelly DeVos, and it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, it's perfectly legal and above board.
Yes, it's totally fine.
You're looking stunning, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
You look like you should be the star of a horror movie.
You know, that's really all I want in life. It doesn't necessarily have to be a movie. I just
Star of horror.
Yes, I just want to star horrifically and scare people. That's all. That's all I want. That's all I want in life. It's fine. Should we just go ahead and get started?
Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to lose you to your dreams.
I know. Oh my god. Okay. Alex Rush is in St. Constantine Hospital, the only survivor of a tragic event with her friends. They'd heard stories about Castle Prahova, of course. It's the home of Vlad Dracul, the man who inspired a myth. It was Dracula and his legend that drew Alex and her friends to Romania in the first place. Now, as Alex waits for her mother to arrive on the red eye, she reads about the manhunt for director Justin Bloom back in LA. Suddenly, there's a knock on the hospital room door, and in walks Police Inspector Anna Skutnik. She has Alex's statement, but needs to hear the story of what happened from the beginning.
Oh, well, let's go back 153 days ago. The exterior, Paradise Valley. It's nighttime, almost Halloween. It's dark, and Alex is driving up Mummy Mountain, one of the richest neighborhoods in Arizona. She's going to her friend Kenna McKee's house to set up for the Halloween party the following night. Though she's got schoolwork, college applications, and projects with a sick and all time. Sorry, college applications and projects and a sick parent all taking up her time. This is the last Halloween before college, and it's important to spend it with her friends.
The house is pitch black when Alex pulls up. She grabs the antique punch bowl she's loaning to Mrs. McKee for the event and heads to Kenna's section of the estate. None of her friends are there yet, but Alex can see Kenna through the huge windows. She can also see a tall figure with a mask and a sword standing next to the bushes, watching Kenna. In fear, Alex drops the punch bowl and tries to call 911, but her hands are slippery with sweat. The figure has spotted Alex and is heading in her direction. Alex runs, falls, and cuts her neck on some cardboard boxes.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 81, short film pitch for Dead Boys Don't Bite. The film is set in a castle from the story of Dracula, covered in a perpetual mist. The story is about a beautiful girl named Lucy and two boys who claim to love her. When she can't choose between them, Lucy starts to see a masked figure and is attacked in the courtyard.
Ooh. 152 days ago. Exterior, McKee Manor. Night, Halloween. Shouts of cut, cut, cut break the silence and Alex's fear. Standing over Alex is her boyfriend, Jax, who is a gorgeous all-American type with a dash of emo. Behind Jax is their friend Reagan, taking off the mask. Suddenly, there's a buzz of activity as lights come on, and Alex's other friends can be seen, as well as cameras, hidden in the bushes with a whiteboard covered in notes for the production of Alex's script, Dead Boys Don't Bite. They were filming her script, which she was also meant to be directing. But she's not included? Damn, she is pissed.
Jax explains that Alex has been so busy lately that they took the initiative and started production. The short film is also helping their college applications and futures, so they do have a vested interest. Kenna wants to be an A-lister movie star, Regan, a visual effects, Maddie, makeup and design, Carter, sound tech, Hazel, cinematography, and Jax, a producer. Alex tries to be calm, but the overlapping conversations of picking the weapon the Dracula villain should be carrying, the design of the mask, and Kenna's Lucy Westenra motivation should have been discussed already with her in a production meeting.
Tone down the rage. Dead Boys Don't Bite is the Dracula story from Lucy Westenra's point of view, where Lucy is actually given agency and is an allegory for male domination and society's true monsters. Once Alex provides suitable motivation for Kenna and the others quit babbling about the weapon, filming restarts with Alex in control. Close to midnight, as Kenna is delivering Lucy's monologue, there are loud clanking sounds coming from the empty house next door, where moving trucks are causing the racket. But who's moving in at nearly midnight? That would be Katrinelle Bloom, an actress who always knows how to find her light and make an entrance. Oh.
General Director for Criminal Investigations. Interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks Alec what she knows about Katrina Bloom. Other than that she was originally from near Castle Prahova, she only knows that what she's read on Twitter about her nasty, nasty divorce.
Oh.
It's icky.
46 days ago. Interior, Rush family basement. Day. Valentine's Day. Ooh, some time has passed. It's no longer
Ooh.
Halloween, it's Valentine's Day. Oh.
That was
Alex
so
is
sarcastic.
in the basement of her family home, sorting out a box of silver items. This used to be their game room until her dad got cancer and they turned it into the premises of Silver Rush, the family's silver selling business. But as the medical bills grew, items with value were sold and loans from family members were agreed upon to keep the Rush family afloat. For Alex and her younger sister Meredith, their futures don't look as bright as they used to because there's no money for them to go to film school or to Juilliard. No time to dwell on that though. Alex needs to get ready for her date with Jax, and he hates to be late. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 7. Personal Statement by Jackson Flanagan. Jax talks about Quentin Tarantino being his inspiration for being a movie producer. He wants his passion to shine through each frame, just like Tarantino. He's not a douchebag at all, we swear.
46 days ago, exterior Rush family driveway, night. Jax takes Alex to a very expensive restaurant, the kind with valet parking, powder rooms, and menus without the price tag. After they sit, Jax asks if they want to do it together tonight, and Alex automatically thinks sex at last. But how would they explain to their very, very Catholic and abstinence-minded families they'd spent the night in a hotel? Oh, wait, no. Jax means they should look at their USC college application notification emails together. Boo!
That's not what we were excited about, okay?
No. Jax is successful. Congratulations! While Alex is put on a waiting list.
Oh.
Ooh. They submitted the same film though, didn't they? This doesn't make any sense. Alex goes to the powder room to cry and runs into Katrina Bloom. The actress sympathises with Alex and tells her that her husband got into film school through bribing and nepotism. Alex, on the other hand, is a visionary with talent, so she encourages her to keep going. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks if this is the point the fundraising is organised. Yes, it was. It was a terrible mistake.
Oh no. Oh no. Ooh. 44 days ago. Interior, Scottsdale School for the Performing Arts. Day. After their history of cinema class, Reagan tells Alex he has a plan. The group gathers and Reagan explains they've set up a GoFundMe and want to finance a reshoot of Alex's film over spring break and submit it to Screamfest, a local film festival. If it wins, USC will have to take notice. While Reagan also got into USC, a hard pill to swallow, though he is a talented visual effects whiz, he thinks Alex being waitlisted is an injustice and sexist. Hazel didn't get in either and needs this opportunity as much as Alex. The others are happy to help, though Jax is notably silent. Perhaps he's feeling guilty that his re-edit of Alex's movie got him into college? Or is it something else?
Hmm.
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 General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 14. Bloom, C. Statement on Rush McKee GoFundMe. Catherine Bloom posts a vicious indictment of the misogynistic practices of the film industry from her personal experiences and endorses Alex Rush across her social media. This statement and plea to help talented women helps to boost the GoFundMe donations. Wouldn't that be so cool? Look, we have a lot of author friends on social media. Like, can't something happen and we get lots of funding too?
Yes, if we put something begging for money and then they retweet us.
No, I don't want to beg for money. I just want people to give us money without us asking for money.
Yeah.
Join our Patreon.
32 days ago, interior Alex Rush bedroom day. Initially, the GoFundMe was slow, but after Katrina Bloom helped boost the project, donations flooded, and now they've got a production budget of $36,000.
Ooh, nice.
Alex and Maddie are discussing scenery in her room when Alex's sister Meredith, practicing for Swan Lake auditions in the backyard, catches Maddie's eye. Maddie goes all cryptic at this point, talking about swans and dodos, and Alex really struggles to understand what she's getting at. As Maddie seems to be confessing something about her family's trip to Wisconsin over Christmas, there is a knock at the door. It's Katrina Bloom with an offer they can't refuse. Katrina's cousin in Romania owns Castle Prahova. He's willing to let them film Dead Boys Don't Bite for free before it's refurbished into a tourist trap. Katrina will accompany them because she needs to lie low as her divorce is finalised. The GoFundMe donations can pay for the trip and any equipment they might need to acquire. Alex's parents break out of their stunned, oh my goodness, an actual Hollywood starlet is in our living room to raise the what fundraiser eyebrows at Alex. Katrina leaves, and Alex and Maddie immediately send out group messages and look at Google images of the castle. Then Regan messages to tell them to look at the GoFundMe page. There's been a huge donation made. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik questions about Maddie acting oddly, and Alex confirms this and admits she only found out what was going on when they reached the castle. Alex also confirms that their GoFundMe received a single $500,000 donation, and again didn't find out the truth behind it until much later. By then, it had already been stolen.
Oh,
Whoa. That
no.
sucks.
5 days ago. Interior, Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, night. It's ridiculous o'clock in the morning, and Alex is last to be picked up in their minibus for the airport. And as she is walking down her drive, Jax and Reagan are having an intense and mysterious conversation. The group heads to the airport to catch their flight to Romania, though Catrinelle isn't with them. Of course, she makes her own way there and flies first class. Kenna also has gotten a seat upgrade thanks to her daddy's air miles. When they land in Romania, they are to catch a hired limo bus to the castle. Outside the airport, they see Catrinelle standing next to a greasy haired man. While she gets into a limo, he stands on the curb, waiting for them. This is Catrinelle's cousin, Raoul Stoica. Before climbing into their car, Kenna stops everyone. Jax tries to interrupt to say something about the computer equipment Catrinelle loaned them, but Kenna won't have it and informs them that all the GoFundMe money is gone.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations interview with Alex Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks Alex what she thought of Raoul Stoica. Well, it was Catrinelle's cousin, and they wanted to trust him, but there was something off about him.
4 days ago, interior Bucharest minibus day. With no other option, they pile into the minibus. While Kenna is raging about the stolen money, Jax and Regan finally reveal what they've been mysteriously talking about. On one of the computers Katrina has loaned them, Regan found an email showing that Katrina will be checking into a rehab for painkiller addiction in Switzerland and won't be with them at all.
Oh, God.
Yeah. They promised
Ooh.
their parents she would be with them. They'll have them on their first flight home if they find out otherwise. Alex is pissed. Jax and Regan didn't tell them sooner. While Jax is quiet about it, Regan is insistent that they need to get the movie made and Alex into USC. In the meantime, Regan has been trying to see who withdrew the GoFundMe money, but can only see the username The Count 1987. Probably not one of their parents then. It takes several hours to reach the foothills of Castle Prahova, and the minibus can't go all the way up, so they need to walk through the forest. It's definitely not haunted. Nope,
No,
not one.
no, 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 it's not.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks Alex if she knew anything about Castle Prahova before getting there. She only knew what Google showed them and that it was connected to Vlad the Impaler. Ooh.
Ooh. 4 days ago, exterior, Castle Prahova, day. Hauling their stuff was difficult as the forest surrounding the castle is creepy, thick and dark, and the climb seems nearly vertical. All the way, it seems that Kenna was whispering with Raoul. Up close, Castle Prahova looks, as Raoul puts it, under renovation. And it doesn't look at all what Google promised. The beheaded statue of Vlad in the courtyard seems somewhat portentous. It's a bad sign. Inside the wing Raoul has assigned them, it is rich, luxurious, and has electricity. No TV or Wi Fi, though.
The
Ah!
real horror of the
No!
book.
Maddie is transfixed by the paintings in the castle. They can't be the real things that were thought to be lost or stolen, could they? It's a castle full of burgled art. This sounds like a really good place to be. While Raoul goes to fetch the cook and housekeeper, the group settles in. They aren't happy with being left alone in a strange country, in a strange castle, at night. Me neither. Yikes. This is
Oh,
not.
I think we have a cultural divide we'll end up talking about here.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 15, image of article from the Journal of Romanian Literary Studies. The article talks about Vlad Tepes, otherwise known as Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Dracul, the inspiration behind Bram Stoker's legendary fictional creation. The article also mentions Stoker secretly traveling to Castle Prahova in 1890. Officer Skutnik notes that the article was planted by Raoul Stoica and is a fake. Stoker did not visit Prahova.
4 days ago, interior Castle Prahova, night. The group explores the living room, finding 3 rusty ceremonial swords and a 4th with a wicked sharp blade. Hazel is examining the map Raoul provided for them. Carter finds an old record player, and the rest discuss their situation. In the end, there is little they can do, so they go to pick bedrooms before they'll get some shots in before Raoul comes back. Dithering in the hallway, Alex is unsure if she will be sharing a room with Jax or have her own, but Jax invites her into a room, so that's decided. After they unpack and start to relax, Alex wonders if this is the moment. But then the haze screams echo from the music room.
Oh. Wah, wah.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 22, Dead Boys Don't Bite, theatrical script. Lucy Westenra is talking with the masked man. She tells him how she doesn't want to fit the mold her parents envisioned for her, to be a kept woman at a man's mercy. The masked man suggests that Lucy wants something dangerous.
Dangerous. Oh.
Ooh.
4 days ago. Interior music room. Night. The screams are because of a bat.
Oh, dang it.
A tiny little bat that freaked Kenna out. Kenna and Maddie are in the music room getting ready for a shot when Kenna freaks. Her screams bring everyone to them, all except Reagan, who is trying to find a cell signal. On one side of the room is a Celesta, which Carter wants to sample so that it can be included on the movie's audio track. Alex notes that decisions are being made again and she is not being consulted. As Alex is looking through cupboards, she finds a newspaper clipping with the name Bram Stoker peppered throughout and the phrase Strigoi Mort, or Ghost of Death, so she pockets it. Just as they are about to get started filming, Reagan returns and announces their GoFundMe was hacked, but he sent off an email to the GoFundMe site. After they finish filming, Raoul returns and they start to file out to get food. Alex notes the Vlad statue that was outside the music room no longer has its sword. And Maddie warns Alex that Kenna is a swan. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations. Interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks Alex what Maddie meant by her swan comment, but Alex doesn't know. The officer also asks if Alex knew that Reagan lied about contacting GoFundMe.
Three
Terrible
days
stuff is
ago,
happening.
it is. 3 days ago, interior, second floor hallway, day. With food in their bellies and adults in residence, everything feels normal, and the next day the shoots go smoothly. When Kenna is needed, she can't be found though. However, Hazel finds her having an intense conversation with Raoul. The cook and the housekeeper, which literally arrived the night before, have demanded that they leave, and Raoul can't keep them, so will take them home before the storm hits. It doesn't look like Raoul will be coming back though.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Maddie has been scoping out the paintings and points out that some were stolen by the Nazis and found a bunch of cables that seem to lead nowhere. Hazel thinks the dilapidated appearance of the castle is a cover for gangster activity, especially since she found pictures of Yuri Stalker, a notorious Romanian gangster. As they're talking, Maddie confesses to Alex that over Christmas break in Wisconsin, her father embezzled a lot of his parents' money, and the family wants to call the police to investigate him. She needs the GoFundMe money to pay it back and stop her father from going to prison. However, Maddie thinks that Kenna took the money because she's been acting very strange about it. Suddenly, Alex sees a masked figure on the terrace.
Ooh.
Ooh. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations interview with Alexandra Rush. Alex confesses that they assumed Yuri was Raoul's father and that she did not know why the staff demanded to leave. She just prayed they would make it through the night.
Oh. 3 days ago, interior music room, night. Regrouping, Alex mentions the masked figure, but Maddie didn't see them, and they don't mention it to anyone else. The rest of the day is spent arguing, roaming the halls, and debating what to do next, and eventually everyone goes to bed. Waking up during the night, Alex hears Carter playing the Celesta and sneaks down to video him. However, it isn't Carter, it's a masked figure. Screaming and backing up, Alex runs into the others. No one else saw the figure, but its presence panics the others, and then Maddie runs off blindly down the stairs to the kitchen. Alex follows, calling her name. In the kitchen, the door to the outside is open, and Alex reaches for the handle to steady herself against the strong winds brought by the oncoming storm. As the lights blink out, Alex sees Maddie's blood on her hand. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations. Interview with Alexandra Rush. Alex confirms she was sure it was Maddie's blood and that all she could think about was finding her friend. The inspector asks if she knew what Kenna had been doing up to this point, and Alex confirms she did not. They wouldn't find that out until much later. Ooh.
2 days ago, exterior terrace night. Alex screams for Maddie as the kitchen floods from the storm. Eventually, Jax comes down to collect her. When they tell everyone what has happened, Carter is desperate to find his girlfriend and gets pissed when they prioritize finding light sources and building a fire. After much arguing, it's decided that Kenna and Regan will stay behind. Carter and Hazel will look inside their wing of the castle, and Jax and Alex will look outside for Maddie. The storm is raging. They can't see 2 feet in front of them. The ground is slick with mud, and their plastic ponchos offer absolutely no protection. During their search, Jax falls down the stone steps when they see a phantom run across their path. Alex heads down to him and finds Jax seemingly fine. Then she sees Maddie's dead body. Ooh.
Oh!
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks if Alex has any idea who killed Maddie. Regan's theory was that Raoul did it. Alex confirms that when they returned, they found no more disturbing things.
Can you read that line again?
Oh, sorry. Alex confirms that when they returned, they found out more disturbing things. No quiet night for you.
No. 2 days ago, interior, bathhouse, night. Eventually, Alex and Jax make it back inside, but they're over half an hour later than when they agreed to meet up. No one is in the living area when they get back, but the fire is burning. Well, though no one is in the living area when they get back, but the fire is burning well. Though amongst the embers, Jax finds a boarding pass from Phoenix dated 3 days ago, but the name is indistinguishable. Alex also notices the wicked looking sword is gone.
Ooh.
Eventually, Reagan returns from having gone to the bathroom, but Kenna isn't with him. She went to get a sweater. They tell Reagan about Maddie before deciding to try to find the others. The boys grab candles, Jax gets one of the rusty swords, and Alex has a flashlight. Heading downstairs, they find the smoking room with a recently smoked cigar and a half drunk glass of whiskey. Then they go to the bathhouse, but Alex slips and lands in the pool. Swimming to the steps, her foot lands on something strange in the water. It's Carter's head.
Ooh.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 22, Dead Boys Don't Bite, Theatrical Script. Lucy Westenra monologues about monsters, noting they're everywhere, including in her.
2 days ago. Interior, the lower floor, night. Regan vomits and Alex has quite a freak out. Jax finds Carter's body propped up near a door that leads outside. They decide to lock the door, take the key, and head back. Walking through the smoking room, Alex sees that the cigar and drink are gone. In the hallway, they hear a banging and find Hazel locked in a bedroom, ashtrays wedged under the doorframe to stop it from opening. Hazel said Carter locked her in because he was obsessed with going outside to find Maddie. Then they break the news to Hazel about the 2 murders. Hazel has something to show them. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 61, Interpol background on Yuri Stoker. Yuri Stoker committed all his crimes indiscriminately. He was on Interpol's most wanted list. The old officers called him the spirit of misfortune. He was a very, very bad man.
2 days ago, interior, the end of the hallway, night. Hazel shows them a room with electricity where Alex and Maddie saw the cables that seemingly led to nowhere. Their theory is that someone turned the power off deliberately in their area to kill them, and Carter thinks it was Kenna who's been acting suspiciously. Jax shows everyone the boarding pass, and Reagan is hurt that Alex didn't tell him about all this already. They decide to get changed into warm, dry, and less blood soaked clothes before heading back to the living room and onward to find Kenna. When they get to the living room, Kenna is there, all snuggled up on the sofa reading a book. She claims she went to find Alex and Jax outside when they didn't return on time, which she told Reagan, but he denies. Since everyone alive has been found and the storm is still raging, they decide to bed down in the living room. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 42. TED Talk by Justin Bloom. Justin Bloom's TED Talk is on horror and filmmaking, in which he says castles are traditionally creepy as they are often inescapable environments. They may be the home of a monster or a prince, or they may be one and the same. Ooh.
2 days ago, intercut, sitting room, the garden, day. The storm is over. Once everyone is awake, they make plans for rescue or escape. Alex and Jax will make their way to the main road and hopefully get a cell signal. Regan, Hazel, and Kenna will stay behind and hopefully locate a phone in the castle. As Alex and Jax gather supplies for their task, Regan hands Alex a hammer for protection. General Director for Criminal Investigations interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik confirms that Alex and Jax headed to the south of the castle. But who did they intend to call? Alex doesn't know. The police? Their parents? Someone? Alex then becomes inaudible on the recording.
Oh. 2 days ago. Exterior, the labyrinth. Day. The forest is creepy. After 20 minutes, Alex and Jax stop for a break, and Jax confesses that he doesn't want to go back home. He wants to stay in Europe and find himself, using their share of the GoFundMe money. Jax, who has literally everything, wants to give it all up with money that was stolen. Alex doesn't think this is an appropriate time or place to be having this conversation. Suddenly, the figure of Count Dracula emerges from the trees before dashing off, Jax in pursuit. Alex follows, but she's slower and eventually hears Jax screaming from inside the hedge maze Vlad had made to honor his wife. Inside, Alex finds Jax hanging from a fountain modeled to look like the castle, with Dracula towering over him, the hammer Reagan gave her in its hands, taken from her bag that Jax offered to carry. Dracula brings down the hammer and beats Jax into a pulp. Alex is hidden and stays quiet as her boyfriend is brutally murdered. When Dracula is gone, Alex looks at what is left of Jax. She doesn't know why she picked up the discarded hammer and then drops it into the algae-filled water. Everyone think on that for a second. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 98. Kenna McKee social media post. Kenna is dressed in black, holding a Ouija board and monologuing about horror movies, and supposes that maybe monsters are real.
Two days ago, interior, the grand hall, day. Not really knowing what she should do, Alex makes her way back to the castle. As she's walking through the courtyard, high-pitched screaming comes from the grand hall. It's dark inside and used as a storage space with boxes everywhere. Hearing footsteps, Alex whisper calls for Regan and they find each other. All I can imagine is, Like, that's not a subtle shout.
Can I just tell you that for whatever reason, when you did that, the audio went fucking crazy scary as hell, and you sounded like a demonic robot. So, thanks. Everyone gets to
Perfect.
piss themselves when you say that.
You are welcome. Well, eventually they find each other after demonic robot shouting at each other, and and then follows Dracula into the hall, as you do. Kenna threw a fit and went back to the castle, and Hazel found something Alex needed to see. Suddenly, they hear a noise and turn to see Dracula climbing a stack of boxes toward a window. Regan starts pulling at the boxes until the Dracula loses balance and falls, breaking the rotten wood beam that it had been holding. Dracula loses balance and falls, breaking the rotten wooden beam they had been holding onto, which penetrates their chest as the Dracula lands on the ground. Hashtag irony. Edging to the unmoving Dracula, Alex can see them wearing one of Maddie's glass masks. Regan reaches out and pulls it off. Oh! General Director for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 34. Draft email from Kenna McKee to Justin Bloom. Kenna is complaining that Raoul turned off the power. Their cell phones don't work and she doesn't know what to do. Surely he, Justin, knew Katrina's uncle was Yuri Stalker and he owned the castle.
Surely. Surely he knew.
Shirley. Don't call me
Don't
Shirley.
call me Shirley. 2 days ago. Exterior, the North Wing. Day. The Dracula was Kenna. And she's dead.
Well.
On the ground, they notice a handheld camera Kenna has been holding. She's been taping everything, which explains her odd behavior. They go to meet up with Hazel, who is in an office room with electricity. She's been investigating and found out that there are security cameras all over the grounds and castle. Everything is being recorded, and Kenna knew all about it. And in fact, she's been in cahoots with Justin Bloom to make her own horror movie, with Alex being her Lucy Westenra.
Cheeky.
They had also arranged for a crew that would use secret underground tunnels to help film and stage scenes. The cook and the housekeeper were 2 of them. It seems that Kenna promised to pay them with the GoFundMe money, and when they found out it was gone, they left, and the rest of the crew were held back because of the storm. Also, Kenna had a whole file on Yuri Stoika on her computer with something Alex needs to see. Ooh. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations. Interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks Alex what she knows about Yuri Stoika and if she knew that he was killed 3 years ago. Alex didn't know much, but she knew that he was in Prahova with them. Was he, though? Was he?
This is not a zombie book. 2 days ago, interior of the office at day. Leaning closer to the computer screen, Hazel shows Alex and Regan footage of Yuri Stalker in the Prava tunnels using the trapdoors. Now they need to make a plan to survive and get help. They decide that they need to fix the satellite, which will get them phones or the internet, but they'll need to reboot the system in the security room, which is unfortunately in the tunnels. Alex doesn't like the plan, but goes along with it. Gathering meagre weapons, including a vodka bottle, a letter opener, and a screwdriver set, they set off into the storm to find the satellite. General Director for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 22, Dead Boys Don't Bite theatrical script. A Lucy Westerner monologue asks someone in the shadows out of shot if they are terrified of her because she is a woman acting in her own self-interest. Fear me, for I am woman.
2 days ago. Exterior, the roof, day. The storm is raging, and eventually the group finds the satellite. Alex helps boost Reagan onto the roof, and he tries to fix it. Meanwhile, Hazel has gone quiet and thoughtful. She asks Alex what she thinks happened to the GoFundMe money, but Alex doesn't answer. Hazel reaches into her backpack and snatches the vodka bottle out and backs away from Alex, saying she needs to get to the road before running off. Alex chases after Hazel and sees her facing off with Raoul in the courtyard. Hazel throws the bottle, but it's old and ineffective. Alex stumbles toward them, and in the struggle, Hazel goes down the courtyard well, and the Vlad statue lands on Raoul. He tells Alex she is an evil girl as he dies. Desperate to help Hazel, Alex runs back to Reagan, who is off the roof. He's pissed because he had to jump down and, at best, has sprained his ankle. Reagan doesn't seem concerned about rescuing Hazel from the well. He wants to reboot the system because Yuri Stoika is there.
Ooh.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations. Interview with Alexandra Rush. Alex asks Inspector Skutnik if they found Hazel, and she confirms they did. Inspector Skutnik asks Alex if Reagan fixed the satellite, and she confirms he did. Then they had to go into the tunnels.
2 days ago, interior, the tunnel, night. Alex and Regan enter the tunnels through the trapdoor in the office Hazel did her investigating in. Regan wants to prevent Yuri from following them by this entrance, so sets fire to the room.
As you do.
As you do. Stumbling in the dark, they find the security room, and Regan goes about rebooting the system. Meanwhile, Alex investigates the space and finds Yuri's merchandise. His merchandise.
His merchandise, which is a whole shit ton of drugs.
Then she comes back to her best friend. Regan has accessed the security footage, and on it, Alex sees Regan and Maddie on the terrace. He killed her? Alex needs to process that later because on the live feed of an outside camera, Yuri can be seen smoking a cigar before turning and coming inside. As the monitor shows system ready, the lights go out.
Oh, damn it.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik asks Alex if Kenneth's computer was destroyed in the fire, and she says Inspector Skutnik asks Alex if Kenneth's computer was destroyed in the fire, and she says she thinks so. The fire doesn't explain all of Alex's injuries, though.
No.
You've got some splaining to do.
2 days ago. Exterior, the loading dock. Night. Reagan stands up from the desk, walks over to Alex, and wraps his hands around her neck and squeezes. Alex begs for her life while Reagan chokes her and tells her how much he loves her and how he did it all for her. Eventually, Reagan snaps out of whatever has overcome him and lets Alex go, confessing that he took the money for Alex to help her get into USC. Then Yuri Stoika arrives and destroys everything before leaving the way he came. Heading into the now smoke-filled tunnel, Alex and Reagan eventually find the carport. As they head down toward a car, a hand reaches out and pulls Reagan back. A series of horrible cracks and thuds follow, and then Reagan is lying at the base of the stairs, broken. Yuri Stoika's face looms out of the darkness before Alex follows and falls, breaking her arm. Hurt, Alex drags Reagan into a car. He's muttering about, "Why, Alex?" and about wanting to see the stars as he dies. General Directorate for Criminal Investigations. Interview with Alexandra Rush. Inspector Skutnik confirms with Alex that Reagan confessed to stealing the GoFundMe money and killing Maddie. Yes to the money, no to the murder. Skutnik also wants to know Alex's theory why a notorious man like Yuri Stoika would allow Alex to live, but Alex doesn't know, and she suggests Skutnik will just have to ask him.
It's a bit of a sassy comment.
I know. What's happening here?
88 days later. Exterior, Phoenix Symphony Hall day. Alex sneaks into the auditorium to watch her sister Meredith dance. She's beautiful in her new leotard and pointer shoes, and Alex remarks that she'll kill someone if Meredith is not cast as the Sugar Plum Fairy. Waiting for Meredith outside, Inspector Skutnik approaches Alex because she has more questions to ask, though she's been officially taken off the case. Alex declines and says any questions she'll go through her lawyer. It seems the story of a famous film director luring unsuspecting teens to their deaths by a resurrected crime lord is more interesting than a teenager willing to kill her friends to get a movie deal and $500,000. Later, at the memorial for her friends, Alex is approached by Katrina Bloom. Any further evidence of what happened at Castle Prahova has been destroyed and made into art and a fetching pair of earrings.
Oh.
Katrina also makes sure Alex knows who she needs to bribe to get into USC.
Damn.
General Directorate for Criminal Investigations, Exhibit 22, Dead Boys Don't Bite, theatrical script. Lucy Westenra monologues about unmasking monsters when it is better to silence them so they cause no further problems.
209 days later. Interior, Troy Hall, University of Southern California, night. Sometimes at night, Alex thinks about Castle Prahova. She thinks about Reagan needing a week to convert the GoFundMe money into cryptocurrency so it couldn't be traced. She thinks about shoving the desperate Maddie down the stairs, stealing the sword Jax had picked up and using it to cut off Carter's head, pushing Kenna off the stack of boxes, and sending Hazel down the well. Poor Reagan would have never told anyone what happened, as he really did love her, but she couldn't be shackled to him, so down the stairs he went. Then there was Jax, who would have been her Justin Bloom, who she bashed with a hammer. What's done is done, and her story will become the truth. Oh, man.
Damn.
Such a good ending.
Well, as people absorb that and we mop up all the blood from our vicious, brutal deaths, messages from other podcasts. Well now.
Mmm.
Well now.
Mmm.
Do you remember earlier in the year we read a book that we thought was a little disappointing because all the way through we knew the person was the murderer and we would have liked it from their point of view?
Yes.
Well, we kind of got it here.
I know. I know we did, and the best part is that it was all lies.
That's it. The story we were told is complete and utter fiction. We have absolutely no clue what went on other than very specifically Jax was murdered by a hammer, Hazel was pushed down a well, Regan
Fell down the stairs.
fell down the stairs,
Kenna fell off the boxes.
and Carter had his head cut off.
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget Raoul was underneath a lad
Yeah.
being pale as
Yeah.
statue.
And did you mention Maddie falling down the stairs?
Yeah, Maddie falling down the stairs. So we have absolutely no idea what went on other than that. That's the only truth we've got. And that Reagan did the actual theft of the GoFundMe money
Yeah.
for Alex. That's it. The rest of it's just all lies.
I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I did wonder though when you started out that sentence about when you said being disappointed, and I thought that you were going to say something, and which I am. I am very disappointed about because when we picked up this book, you know, based on the cover and the fact that it's Dracula all over the place, like I was expecting real vampires, and so I am 100% disappointed that there are no real, blood-sucking vampires, but,
Same,
like
same.
but that doesn't count. Like, that's not real disappointment, except for the fact that we love vampires and it's all vampires all the time. But, oh my god, I this book was not like, it wasn't at all what I was expecting, and
Yeah.
I'm so pleased with how it ended.
Yeah. I think the last two entries when we finally have the real Alex are amazing.
God,
Like
she's such a bitch. She was
because it makes you
amazing.
yeah, exactly. She's horrible. She is horrible. And before that, just this irritating,
She's an irritating little pushover.
yeah, just yeah, it just goes all the way back to what you said for the background information when how Kelly DeVos purposely wrote an irritating character.
Yeah.
Oh, hit the nail on the head perfectly there. I gave zero brackets zero fucks about Alex. I wished she was going to die all the way through, and the reason I knew she wasn't going to die all the way through is because one, I thought she was the killer,
Right.
and two, it's first person.
Right. You can't kill off the first person narrator. That's not how stories work.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, it wasn't too much of a surprise, to be fair. That I think I messaged you and said, "Is Alex the murderer? Tell me, Alex." And you, of course, you do not respond with
right.
anything.
Mm,
We never give the
yeah.
game away to each other. We do
Never,
not
never.
spoil things for each other,
We
dear
don't.
listeners.
We spoil it all for you though.
Yes. And you wouldn't tell me. And very, very early on, I was like, "Yeah, she's the murderer. She's a murderer, isn't she?" And there's a point of frustration because you know what I'm reading is not correct. It's what she's telling the inspector, and then you're like, is the inspector picking up on this bullshit that I'm smelling? Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. 100%. Mm.
So
I
it was
want
very deeply satisfying, like
It
you say,
was.
to have the murderer there.
Yeah. So, I want to skip ahead to surprises because of what you were just talking about. And you said that you knew Alex was the killer the whole time, which, yeah, obviously. Like, she cannot just be this little mousy pushover, and that can't
Survive.
be. That can't. That can't be how the story goes. And so you knew that she was the killer. See, I also knew that she was behind everything, but it's the end of the story is not what I thought was going to happen. I thought that she was doing all of this stuff and secretly filming it. And so then she was going to submit all of this to USC and pretend that it was a movie. And actually, she had
Yes.
murdered all of her friends and just recorded herself doing it. That's what I thought was going
Yes.
to happen. So, like, and I knew she was behind it all, and I knew all this stuff was happening. But I thought she was filming it and was going to submit it as to her school or to the film fest or whatever. I thought that she was filming it to share this movie with others. And then it turns out later that, oh yeah, fuck, this is just real and we just witnessed all of these murders.
I agree with that 100% because there's like a couple of times during her story, she makes a point of saying that there's security cameras everywhere,
Yeah.
and when Kenna dies, she drops a handheld camera. So yeah, I completely agree with that. I thought there was going to be like a horror vampire found footage movie
Yeah.
submitted to like the film festival or to her college application, cleverly edited to remove
Yes.
her as the murderer.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
you would see her as an actress, as a director, as an editor, doing all of these things, and you think, "Oh my gosh, she is the best film student we could ever have, so we have to have her, and she's gonna be famous one day," and blah, 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 all of this stuff because she's got all these skills. But that's not what happened.
no, I agree. It was. I would like to see that.
I would love to watch this movie. I wish it were real.
Yeah.
Or, the book made into a movie.
Yeah,
We'll also watch that 100%.
completely. I don't know if the book could be made into a found footage though, purely because we know the found footage would be faked.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's the clever editing, isn't it, that would take place to make it seem that way. You know, when you get to the end and you realise, like, it is the big reveal that Alex is the killer all along and she did it for the money to get into USC. She did it all. And you're like, well, that means everything that's gone past already is wrong, which means the time scalings of things is completely off. Like, she couldn't have run down into the kitchen chasing after Maddie, and then 5 minutes later, Jax comes down and she's had this big fight with Maddie and murdered her. And it's like, it just, I've been lied to for
Yeah.
nearly 300 pages. I want to actually know what happened.
Yeah. Alex is a master storyteller.
It's almost like you could make two movies out of this. You could make the one of the book, but then you could make the one which is found footage, which is the truth.
Yeah, and it's just Alex running around murdering everyone viciously.
Yes. Yes.
I'd be
I
down
like
for
I
that.
like I kind of like to think that the cook and the housekeeper got it as well, but because they were minor characters, they were killed off screen and never talked about.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that happening. Everyone's dead.
Everyone is dead. Absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
The deaths were wonderfully gory.
Oh, they were. Oh, it was so good. Especially the hammer.
Oh,
Mm.
Jax's was probably my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
He was such an asshole though.
God, he was. I hate, that he recut her film to get into school. Like, what a shithead.
I want to know how he recut it. Like, what did he do? I will admit, when we do get to the snippets through the um criminal investigation exhibit, it's a lot of Lucy Western and monologue. So I can imagine it being a bit tedious because it's just one character constantly talking
Yeah.
and essentially saying the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I can imagine he's recut it to be a bit more actiony because it's Quentin Tarantino and Chris
Right.
Nolan, and there is idols. They do monologues, especially Tarantino, but it's not a 20-minute monologue about how women being empowered and damn the patriarchy, and
Yeah.
it's not that. So I am curious to what his recut was, but he was an absolute asshat all the way
He
through.
really was.
Like at the beginning, when they're in Mummy Mountain at Halloween, Alex is like, "Ooh, Jax, ooh, he's so hot," and she's kind of getting rather horny on Mummy Mountain. And then you cut to Valentine's, and she's like, I suppose he's like the lacrosse captain, and he
Yeah.
has got this emo streak in him, and he is gorgeous, and he is, wealthy. He can afford this really nice restaurant, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, we're going to the castle. Maybe we'll have sex." I shouldn't have said it.
Oh,
My mother put
oh.
another pamphlet in my suitcase about
Ooh.
abstinence. Oh, she was hot and cold over Jax
Yeah,
all
she
the way
was.
through,
Yeah.
and he was. a little controlling, like he had to be on time, and it's a little belittling, and I don't know if that's the producer in him or just the fact he is an asshole.
Yeah. I also wonder, like, why were they together? And I
Yeah,
know that that was, like, that was mentioned a lot. She's like, "Oh, why is he with me? Because he's so beautiful," you know, blah, 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 blah. But seriously,
good question.
what's why? I almost feel like he was just in a relationship with her because everyone, like, expects the hot high school guy to be in a relationship with someone, but, like, I wonder if he that's all he was in it for. Because there was never any, like, passionate teenage making out, whatever. You didn't see that.
No,
So I
no,
just
but
feel
to be
like,
fair, they were from very Catholic, very absent-minded families, so maybe he
no, see, that just means that they're horny all the time and always fucking.
but stuff still counts. Just putting it out there, but stuff counts.
Yeah.
Um, I but we've also got to remember everything we know about Jax is a lie.
Yeah, everything that we've ever seen is a lie. We can't believe it. We can't believe or trust any of it. This one would have been a really good one, even though it just recently came out. Would have been a really good one for our
The unreliable
the
narrator.
unreliable narrator one.
I thought so too. I thought so too.
Yeah.
I found it quite weird how we kept like Alex kept having to say, Regan, he's my best friend. Regan, he's my best friend. My best friend Regan. Because they never acted like they were best friends. He
Yeah.
acted like he was infatuated and in love with her, with the
Yeah.
too tight and too long hugs and the desperation
Yeah.
that she also go to USC. But again, this is from her perspective, so it could be true. And I have a feeling it was, considering he was the person who stole the money and turned into cryptocurrency.
Yeah. But do you think that she was just like stringing him along and
Oh,
she knew that he was obsessed?
completely.
And she's like,
Completely
hey, why don't you
100%.
steal that money and turn it into cryptocurrency?
And then we can go to USC
We
together.
can go to school together and we can be in a dorm room and it'll be sexy. And he's like, okay. And then she pushes him down the stairs.
And then she pushes him down the stairs. Why, Alex? Because you're a dick and I do not want to marry you.
All of them. That's how they all ended. Why, Alex? Alex,
Why?
what? Why?
Because you're basic.
Oh, man.
The gory deaths were my absolute
Yeah,
standout
I know. Me
moments.
too. I was just about to like go back and talk more about the gory deaths. Do you
Did you
know?
have a favourite?
Yes, which that's what I was about to talk to you about. My favorite death was Jax's being hammered, but I also really love the scene in the bathhouse with the
Yes,
swimming pool.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, Carter's head is at the bottom of the pool and she's like climbing up the stairs. And, when you're reading it, assuming that there's actually a monster running around and it's not just Alex fucking killing everyone. And she's like swimming up because she's fallen in and she swims over to the stairs and she's like, oh, pulling herself out of the water. And then her foot slips on Carter's head. Oh,
And she goes falling, and then Regan finds out what she's slept on, and he starts
he's
vomiting
yes,
everywhere.
yes. And
And
it just,
Jax is being all weird and just edging away from everything.
yes. And finds his body like propped up over in the corner without a head.
That image of that headless body just propped over in the corner, it just tickles me.
Yeah,
It really tickles me.
yeah. I really liked that scene because it reminded me of Clown in a Cornfield 2. There was also an indoor pool and, murder scenes. But that's what it reminded me of. It
Yes,
was
it
the
did.
same.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
There were no heads in that pool though. Just a real
That we
bad
know of.
smell. There was some
Yes.
funky smells in that house.
I just, yeah.
Yeah.
What's yuck. Just
Yeah. So you also loved the bathhouse?
Yes, those were my absolute favorites. I absolutely adored those two. They were fantastic. I kept waiting for because Hazel was like one of the last ones as well. I spent ages waiting for her to die, and then it was this slapstick fight scene in the courtyard where she falls into the well, and the Vlad statue lands on Raoul, and you're like, wah, wah.
And she's like going whoa, 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 whoa on the edge of the well. She's just
And
falling
then and then she's still conscious underneath. I do feel sorry for Hazel because
yeah.
it wasn't a quick death. It was very
No.
painful. But I don't understand how she worked out, because obviously it's not Alex hasn't explained it very well, how Hazel worked out that Alex was behind it all.
I don't know.
Because it
Maybe.
just seemed to be the walking to the satellite and she's like running things through our brain, and it's established that Hazel is the smartest and most organized, and
Yeah.
her parents are, at least one of them's FBI agent. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, she knows how to think logically about these things, but then she suddenly starts lagging behind. It's like, yes, I'm going to pull out this vodka bottle to protect myself because you're a murderer. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
How did she work that out?
I don't know.
Unless it was the GoFundMe money and the fact that the only person who probably would have stolen it was Regan, and he would
Yeah.
have stolen it for her.
Yeah. And had she seen security footage at that time? Or no?
I don't know. I can't remember if it's actually stated that she sees the security footage. It's only that Regan sees the security footage.
Yeah, but
Because she doesn't.
Hazel was in that room doing stuff. So
Quite possibly. But I don't know. I
hard to
don't
say.
think
It's all lies.
it's all lies. We don't know what's going on. Why the hell would you set fire to the players
I
to
don't
stop
know.
somebody from following you?
I don't know. It's a
Obviously,
bad idea.
it's Alex's fabrication to hide the fact that her DNA and all the evidence of her murders are everywhere.
Yeah.
Burn the
Yep.
place down. Get rid of the evidence. I'm fine with this. But what freaking logic, if it was true, we don't want this guy following us. So instead of just barring the way, let's set fire to the
Yes.
place.
Set the room on fire because that's the only entrance into the tunnels, of course. And so just set the room on fire and it'll be fine.
Stupid logic.
Yeah. It's terrible. But it's all lies. So it doesn't matter. All lies all the time.
All lies, all the time, and no vampires. And no sucky sucky. This vampire is just not the version.
Not the blood-sucking kind. Just the horrible, emotionally draining nightmares of human beings vampires.
Yeah.
No, see, I need the bloody vampires. I need a fictional vampire, not a real life vampire.
Just think about some fictional vampires. The start, Dracula.
Mm.
Damon. Edward.
Mm.
Adrian.
Andrea!
There we go. We've brought her back to life.
There's my vampire. There he is.
Oh. Did you have a favorite character then?
Well, Evil Alex.
Or was it just a favorite
obviously.
death?
No, Evil Alex. The last couple of entries where Alex is just
Herself.
awful. Yes, that is what I love the most.
Yeah, I think it's the only honest character at that point, isn't it? I did like Hazel. I did like
Yes.
her logic. I liked
Yes.
Hazel. But no, I think you're right with Evil Alex, really.
Yeah.
20 pages of actual, real, genuine character is the best.
Yes.
Because otherwise, lies, lies, and lies.
I also appreciated Catrinelle Bloom because she's
She can
this.
find her light.
Yes, she can find her light. But I appreciate the fact that I almost kind of feel like she's pulling the strings a little bit behind Alex. She's
You don't know what's happened since Halloween.
yeah. But you know why? Because it's all lies.
All lies all the time.
All lies all the time.
God damn.
So they could be in cahoots.
I love the word cahoots.
Or she's murdered somewhere.
No, I don't think she's been murdered because I think she's the one she's helped hide the evidence.
Oh, yeah.
And she's the one who's like, here's a list of people you can bribe to
Yeah.
get into the
See,
future.
so
Send me a script, I'll do it for you.
yeah.
She's
See, I feel like
her mentor.
yeah, I feel like she's
a mentor to murder.
she is. I feel like she's at least 37% responsible for what happened in this book.
37%
That was
responsibility.
an arbitrary number.
All percentages, when they're defined in that manner, are arbitrary.
I thought you were going to say all percentages all the time.
All percentage all the time.
Do you know what?
Yes.
I think we should play Would You Rather.
I think we should too. And it's a special one.
Special Would You Rather. Insert Would You Rather here. Those of you watching this video and seeing us being ridiculous, go watch the bonus one.
But as we have already recorded the Would You Rather, we can, with 100% accurate, honest percentages, say Kelly DeVos is lovely.
I know.
And I love a casual witch hat.
I love that you couldn't always see it. And I love that she was, at a castle.
Flying in the air.
Yeah.
On her broomstick.
Yes. It was good stuff. So everyone needs to go and check out the bonus episode.
Yes.
Because it's good. And I hope that we get some more fantastic stuff from her in the future, which we will. And then we're just going to keep dragging her back over and over and over again.
Kicking and screaming and still wearing a fantastic headwear.
Yep. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're on Fictional Hangover once.
I didn't creepy fangirl.
I know. I was really proud of you. I was really proud of you. And I'm not sorry that I revealed that you have a non-sexual crush on her.
It's fine. It's better that it's out in the open and that everybody knows where they stand.
That's true. It's very true.
I mean, right now with this, wounds and blood.
I know.
I'm so attractive right now.
You really are. You're gorgeous. Okay. What? Favorite final thought quote?
I'm going to give you what we're looking for.
Okay.
I like this one just because I like the insult. It was kind of sweet, but it was also kind of basic.
Basic.
I love calling people a basic bitch. Oh, this one about Regan. Oh, bless. He could totally forget that our lives were in mortal peril and spend an hour talking about the history of Atari or something. We all have that special subject in our life where we forget about mortal peril and just talk about that instead.
Yes.
And I'll give you a couple of serious ones.
Okay.
They'd rather that we hide our unlikable ambitions behind pleasant faces and friendly smiles. This world acts like it's a sickness or weakness for us to want to decide for ourselves what we want. I appreciated the empowerment messages in the book.
Yes.
What have you got?
Well, I've realized that almost all of the ones that I have chosen to share are about monsters. So that's...
Shock.
I know.
I'm hoping you've got one that I read it and I was like, shit, it's Amanda.
I do have one that's not monsters. It doesn't say the word monster, so I'm hoping that's the one you're talking about. So anyway, if I am a monster, I am my own monster. My story will become the truth. My story is the truth. That one was so good. Everywhere there are monsters. Maybe even inside of me. What if the real monsters in this world are not hiding underneath our beds? What if they're out there in plain sight? And then my last one that doesn't have anything to do with monsters. I'm so cold. So almost dead inside.
Yes.
Was that the one?
Yes, that was
Dead
the
inside.
one. That was the one I
Being
read it
dead
and went, oh my
inside.
God, it's Amanda.
Being dead inside.
I'm so glad you picked that one out.
Yay.
Oh, delicious. I love it. I love it so much.
All right. If you liked this, try this. What are you going to suggest?
I am going to suggest a book that has literally just come out. Kat Ellis was on Twitter saying you need to read this. I agree.
Yes, I saw this like pop up on Twitter literally today.
Yes, in the core, Dawn Kurtagich. Honestly, all the people who I trust with my to give me recommendations have recommended this, and I am. We need to read this because it sounds freaking amazing. Now, it doesn't have vampires. I'm sorry, it's not all vampires all the time, but I'm going to give you another traditional, wonderful monster that we adore and love.
Yes.
Werewolf. And I'm even going to give you the quote from the summary because it's freaking amazing, and it's this one line will sell it.
Yes.
So the book's called Big Bad Me by Aislinn O'Loughlin.
I think that's pronounced Ashlyn.
Ashlyn? Big Bad Me by Ashlyn O'Loughlin. And the quote is from the beginning: I've got two claws, Katie, two giant, evil, freaking Freddy Krueger monster things, and I am not calm. Yes. Sold.
Done.
Sold.
Done.
I'm going to give you the rest of the summary just for completeness.
Sure.
Evie Wilder is living a very normal life, except for the fact that her mum has gone missing. She's just found out she's a werewolf. She and her sister have to go into hiding from supernatural beings, and there's not a single helpful vampire slayer to be found. With the help of Kevin, the dorky hot teenage manager of the guest house where Evie and Kate go to lie low, Evie begins to learn to harness her wolfish abilities, but there's something a bit odd about Kevin that Evie can't quite put her finger on. Meanwhile, reports of animal attacks are increasing, local teenagers have started to go missing, and Evie is about to find herself at the center of a supernatural showdown.
Ooh.
Now, I butchered that summary, very sorry, but honestly, go and check it out. It looks absolutely amazing, and the cover art is beautiful. So we need to look at getting this on our schedule.
Are we gonna have to create a werewolves month?
I think we do. I mean, we've done it for vamps, so it would be only fair to do it for werewolves, considering what other plans we have for our vampire book club.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to call it Howling at the Moon.
Perfect. Now, if everyone is not aware, next year has approximately 27 months.
At least. 72 weeks. 27 months.
Yes.
I can't read, apparently. What's your recommendation?
Okay. My recommendation has some tenuous links.
Love it.
We love a tenuous link. And also, it's written by friend of the show, Lori Stillars.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. This one's called Project 17. And it sounds so good. And I desperately want to read it.
I'll just get next year's schedule.
I know. High atop Hathorne Hill, near Boston, sits Danvers State Hospital. Built in 1878 and closed in 1992, this abandoned mental institution is rumored to be the birthplace of the lobotomy. Locals have long believed the place to be haunted. They tell stories about the unmarked graves in the back, of the cold spots felt throughout the underground tunnels, and of the treasures found inside. Patients' personal items like journals, hair combs, and bars of soap, or even their old medical records left behind by the state for trespassers to view. On the eve of the hospital's demolition, 6 teens break in to spend the night and film a movie about their adventures.
Nice.
For Derek, it's an opportunity to win a filmmaking contest and save himself from a future of flipping burgers at his parents' diner. For the others, it's a chance to be on TV or a night with no parents. But what starts as a playful dare quickly escalates into a frenzy of nightmarish action. Behind the crumbling walls, down every dark passageway, and in each deserted room, they will unravel the mysteries of those who once lived there and the spirits who still might.
Ooh.
Doesn't it
Yes.
sound so good?
It is on our list for next year.
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
Hmm.
Can we have an indie spotlight? Is there a suitable one or a tenuous link?
There is. Now, unfortunately, this is our new and indie spotlight segment. This one's not new. It came out in 2021, but it does have some tenuous links.
Shall we just change this to the tenuous link spotlight?
Maybe we should. Maybe we should. There's some tenuous links, and also, but not 100% tenuously linked to this book by Kelly DeVos. Perhaps another one that we talked about on the podcast by Kelly DeVos.
Ooh.
So this one is called All the Tommies in the World by Javier Gombinsky. For horror YouTubers Lilith and Nate, that's it. They're horror fanatics.
End of sentence. End of
YouTubers,
summary.
yes. For horror YouTubers Lilith and Nate, zombie movies are escapist fantasies. So, when a real zombie uprising in the streets of New Southport is quickly thwarted, they know those familiar-looking ghouls are hiding something. They should know. Born with a weak heart in the funeral town of Leda Ranch, built around the largest cemetery in the world, Lilith's parents raised her with zombie stories to keep her from learning the truth about what happens inside the cemetery walls. As for Nathan, the caretaker's son, he has his reasons to be so cowardly. So, when they get outsmarted by seemingly droning ghouls and are forced to split up, the uncanny coincidences are undeniable. And as things start to look more and more like Lilith's apocalyptic visions, and as a darker threat lurks, it'll be up to them to piece the puzzle before everyone they love faces a fate worse than becoming a zombie. Can they be stopped? Are they just playing dead? Do they have a plan? They know something we don't. And whatever it is, they hate us for it.
Smells fishy.
It does.
Zombie reference.
If you know, you know.
You know, you know.
What are we talking about next? Waistcoats and weaponry?
Waistcoats and Weaponry
Correct.
by Gail Carrigan.
So that's it for this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Waistcoats and Weaponry, Finishing School Book the Third by Gail Carriger. Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Don't forget about our book club and monthly challenges on Facebook. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite fictional hangover-themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book. All right, and now everybody gets to watch as we do the intros and outros. Whoa, because we don't do them before and after. It's all mixed up.
Cause you can't cause you can't see the future.
No, you can't. In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about Go Hunt Me by Kelly DeVos. In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about all lies all the time, gory deaths, unlikable characters, and being in cahoots, or 37% responsible, in our discussion of Go Hunt Me by Kelly DeVos. All lies all the time.
All lies all the time. We can't have vampires all the time.
No, we can't.
We'll have lies
We
all the
cannot.
time.
Okay. And now also we have to do our intro and outro for, the other episode that we did today. Oh, because we did it all good.
Oop. The game delete that.
That one needs to go at the end.
This one?
Yeah. Yes. In this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about reading Jonathan Harker, revenge stories, Godzilla stomping around, how we did not, in fact, plan a murder, and Kelly D in the house in our discussion of Go Hunt Me with Kelly DeVos. Kelly D in the house.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to talk to Kelly DeVos, author of Go Hunt Me. Enjoy!
So that's it for this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as blah 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 blah.
Oh, I love blah blah blah.
I know, it's the best thing ever. Blah blah blah. Why am I
Blah,
singing
blah,
so much
blah,
right
blah,
now?
blah,
What is
blah, blah.
happening?
I know.
What is happening?
Someone needs their dinner.
Yeah, I do. I do need
She's
to
gonna.
eat.
You're gonna go California girl soon.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I need to eat dinner. Okay. That's the end.